Hello and welcome to Golden West College Football here on SportsNetUSA.net. I am Ryan Osborn, joined by Albert Robles as we get set for Golden West and San Diego Mesa. Live from the San Diego area, we all took a trip down here, and we get set for a big matchup here in between two newer rivals in their conference. Remember, San Diego Mesa a couple years ago ended up making that transition up to the National Conference, and what do? Well, that first year, they ended up finishing in the top 10 rankings in the state of California. They've kept that level of competition going into this season. They enter 5-2 this year. That's right, 5-2. Their only two losses, one was to Ventura, who is top 3 in the state, and the other was to San Bernardino Valley in a close one. So, Golden West coming into this one 8-0, looking to keep that rolling. And if they are able to take a win from San Diego and get back up to Golden West by the end of the night, it sets up a big-time matchup with Fullerton coming up next week. But before we get to that, we have to take a look at Jake Ratzlaff. When you look at Ratzlaff and how he has been able to perform for these Rustlers, I mean, you've seen it all season. If you've been joining us here on SportsNetUSA.net, it seems like he has been able to manufacture offense when there was no momentum. He creates it on his own. He directions this team, and by the way that he goes, that's how this team goes. You look at Ratzlaff entering today, just passes that 2,000-yard mark, 2,025 yards, 58% completion rate. As he gets set to take a look at the Golden West Rustlers taking the field and San Diego Mesa, Jake Ratzlaff is going to be that guy you have to watch for Golden West. On the other side for San Diego Mesa, if you're looking for one person on their offense to really kind of own in on, well, it's going to end up actually being two guys, Kale Patterson and Josh Butler. Both have played in all 7 games. They've each rushed for nearly 300 yards and just a shade over 300 yards. Rushing attack will be big. How can the defensive line for Golden West College stand up? That's going to be the big key here tonight. So, Golden West wins the toss. They defer to the second half, and they will be kicking from left to right. Cypress will be kicking it away, and over to our right for San Diego Mesa. Back deep to receive will end up being Timion Jackson and Jevin Dorsey. Dorsey on the near side, Jackson on the far side. Both freshmen as this ball is kicked away, and we are underway from San Diego Mesa. Taken back by Jackson. He's going to get up to the 20, gets hit initially, and gets wrapped up at the 22-yard line, and that is where San Diego Mesa's offense will step onto the field. So about a 12 to 13-yard return on that one, and the defense for Golden West gets to step onto the field for the first time tonight. Again, I'm Ryan Osborn, joined by Albert Robles over to my left. Both of us making the trip down here with these Golden West Rustlers, and if you are a Rustler fan, again, this game has a lot of repercussions throughout the rest of the season. It's a big one for the Rustlers. The Rustlers are going to start off with Ismail Souza on the far side of the field, as he will look to control. Near side is Josue Alexander. Gunnar Gray will be in the backfield. Takes the snap, looks over to his left, wants to roll, finds a screen pass, and leaves it over for Patterson. Patterson gets up to the 28 and gets smacked down as soon as he gets to the 29-yard line. Getting the stick on that play ends up being Malachi Gatewood on the far side. Actually make that Prince Ford who gets the tackle. So after a gain of 7, it now becomes a 2nd down and 3 to go. 3 guys on the near side of the field for San Diego Mesa, one of them being Kuino Makihele. Makihele, one of their leaders in receptions this season. Takes a look over near side, ball tipped up into the air and is incomplete. He was looking for Jackson in the slot and ends up overthrowing him. In the backfield once again for Gunnar Gray will end up being Patterson. So near side, he's got Jackson in addition to Dorsey, all the way to the near side, far out to the left, if you're looking at it from the offensive side, will end up being Makihele. So Patterson in the backfield, off to the right hip of Gunnar Gray. He's going to take it in the gun with a 3rd down and 3 coming up. Little bit of movement from the defensive line of Golden West. Souza tries to get someone to flinch. Going back is Gray. Over the middle, it gets tipped and caught. It looks like it's going to be Jackson. Incomplete is what the official ruling is at the 37-yard line.
Hard to tell from our end, Ryan, but looks like that might have hit the ground from the ref's eye.
Pass was ruled incomplete.
Far side of the field, wondering what was going on, was Jacob Burr. But it will end up being a 4th and 3. So an initial nice gain for Patterson on first down, but then it turns into a 3 and out for San Diego Mesa's offense. So coming out to kick it away will end up being John Carroll. As Carroll gets set to kick it away, 5 punts this season, 176 yards. As this one gets muffed over towards the 10, he's going to hop on it, and San Diego Mesa, with the special teams blunder, will give the ball up to Golden West at the 11-yard line. You want to talk about excellent field position for this Golden West Rustler offense coming up with their first drive of the game. They are 11 yards away from the end zone.
And that's a terrible start there for San Diego Mesa, Ryan. Typically speaking, you want to get that ball off to get good defensive position, but now they're in the worst position possible, knowing that already Rustlers are going to be within red zone distance.
So Ratzlaff goes back there. He's got Johnson to start in the backfield. Kennewell is on the near side, some motion on the right side of the offensive line, and they are going to get a false start. Ernesto Nava is the one who ends up moving just a shade on the right-hand side of the offense. So the offense from left to right, if you're in the backfield looking at it, on the far side of the field, they're going to go with John Ojalabi. Then in the backfield is Carrillo and Johnson. On the right side is Branson and Kennewell. Ratzlaff goes back looking for a guy. He's got someone in the corner. It's Branson, but it's over top of his head. Branson was just breaking out of that route and was going towards the corner of the end zone near side, and it just lands over top of him for a 2nd down and 15 to go.
And Johnson's very capable of making those type of catches, but unfortunately Ratzlaff just sails it over his head.
2nd and 15 from the 16.
So Ratzlaff with the ball at the 16-yard line, takes the snap, looks for Johnson. He's going to hand it off to him, and he will get about 2 yards on the play, and that brings up a 3rd down and 13. So Golden West has to get inside the 1-yard line to get themselves a 1st down. And they are currently placed at the 14-yard line. Around the conference, Fullerton Saddleback. Fullerton 31, Saddleback 30. A very late win for Fullerton College. Saddleback led all the way until about 2 minutes left. Going back is Ratzlaff, looking for someone down the middle. Branson tipped away at the last moment. In on the defense there will be Chris Alba, and he knocks it away to make it 4th down and 13.
And
so that's going to bring on the field goal attempt and special teams for Golden West. So this ball will be placed at the 21-yard line. Here's Cypress. Right boot, kicks it away. Is it through? It is indeed, and Golden West is on the board. A field goal for the Golden West Rustlers as they take over at the 11. They get some points off the turnover. Golden West 3, San Diego Mesa 0. You are watching Golden West Rustler football here on SportsNetUSA.net. So that'll switch things up for both of these two teams. When you take a look at the rankings entering tonight, Golden West, as we've mentioned earlier, they are top 5 in the state of California. As it's listed, College of San Mateo is number 1. Tied for 2 is Ventura and City College of San Francisco. And right behind them at number 4 is Golden West at 8-0. Directly behind them is Fresno City at 7-1, Riverside at 6-2, and then Canyons, Fullerton, Mount Sac, and San Diego Mesa finish off the top 10. Cypress will kick it away to the far side. He's looking for Dorsey. That's going to be a touchback as it just sneaks into the backside of the end zone. And San Diego Mesa will have their 2nd time on offense coming up in just a moment.
Jake Cypress's kickoff goes into the end zone.
So Cypress kicks that one through the end zone, and the Olympians are going to have a chance to go back on offense. Far side of the field will be Deshaun Owens. Near side is Maki Hele. He's also joined in the slot by Dorsey. 2 running backs set with Patterson and Butler in the backfield joining Gray. Gunnar Gray is going to take the snap 5 yards back. Ball is set at the 25. He ends up handing it off to Patterson. They go with the kind of a T formation there, and off the handoff, he ends up gaining 2, and it brings it up to the 27-yard line. So a 2nd down and 8 to go. 12:45 left here in the first quarter. Golden West, the first team to get on the board. 3-0 they lead here in the first. Gunnar Gray into the gun. He's got a single back set on the near side of the field with Josh Butler on his left hip. Dorsey joined by Jackson in addition to Maki Hele on the near side. Far side is going to be Deshaun Owens. Gray calling things out on the offensive line as he steps up, takes a look at Josue Alexander. Here comes Alex Reich trying to blitz. They end up going near side over to Dorsey, and it lands at his feet at the 30-yard line. Incomplete.
Pass intended for Kevin Dorsey.
You're watching online and thinking to yourself, wow, both of these two teams look extremely sharp when you want to take a look at their uniforms. San Diego Mesa in their navy blue home uniforms, their brand new yellow pants. Yellow numerals outlined in white, and then Golden West, always so sharp in their white with green and black outlining. Alexander coming off the near side. Gunnar Gray looking for a chance. He gets pressured from behind. He's going to get out of it. Flings it downfield, and he will find Deshaun Owens coming back at the 40-yard line. They give him the 39, and that will be an overall gain of about 12 yards, and it's a 1st down for San Diego Mesa.
Gray to Owens, 1st down Olympians. The ball at their 39.
Near side Owens and Maki Hele. In the backfield is Butler. Gunnar Gray, pistol formation. He's standing at the 35-yard line. San Diego Mesa going from right to left, takes the snap, hands it off. Butler gets stacked as soon as he gets within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage, and Alex Reich is right there, and he will make the tackle for loss. That brings the ball back to the 36, and it will be a 2nd down and 13. Everyone switches up. That means that on the far side, Deshaun Owens will take over. Far side in the slot will end up being Jackson. In the backfield is Patterson, moves to the left hip of Gunnar Gray. Dorsey, near side of the offense in the slot, and then out wide to the left is Maki Hele. Takes the snap. Gray going back, 2 set drop, screen near side to Patterson over top of his hand, and it's incomplete. So a 3rd down and 13 coming up from the 36-yard line. Ryan Osborn, Albert Robles, live from San Diego Mesa here on SportsNetUSA.net. If you joined us last week when San Bernardino Valley visited Golden West College, remember San Bernardino Valley got on the board early. They were leading it at one point 21-10, 14-0 at one point as well early on. Golden West came right back with 35 straight points and were able to take a victory there. Golden West College looking to bring everyone up. They show blitz, they back it off. Gunnar Gray going back, goes down the middle. That might be a pass interference call. They won't end up tossing the flag, and it's a 4th down coming up. It looked like initially Golden West ended up having a guy there a little too early. That was Pablo Araya on the coverage. So Araya was there for Golden West. He knocks it away, and that will lead to a punt. So Donovan Warren comes up to punt for the Olympians, going from right to left. Amon Lavoie is back deep. Ball bounces in, and he's just able to get it away. Lavoie calls fire. Ball bounces at the 35, takes a initial Golden West hop, and then goes San Diego Mesa's way and goes back to the 35-yard line. Second time on offense for Golden West coming up. They lead it 3-0 with 10:34 to go here in the first quarter. You are watching Golden West College football here on SportsNetUSA.net. Now, Albert, as the temperatures start to drop here between Golden West and San Diego Mesa, down here at San Diego Mesa, all of a sudden you're watching this Golden West offense and saying, okay, they got on the board initially, but not as many points as they wanted. What can they do on their second offensive drive?
They definitely want to keep San Diego Mesa on their toes. If you notice on that second possession for Mesa, they had a back-to-back terrible snap, and as a result, not the best of kicks and field position.
You mentioned the first snap on special teams. That ended up being downed at the 11-yard line because it went away from Donovan Warren. The second one bounces in. He's able to field it and kick it away. First play on this offensive drive ended up being a screen pass over to Carrillo on the left-hand side. He gets up to the 46-yard line and a first down. Ratzlaff will take it with Torrance Wiseman in the slot on the right-hand side. Wiseman goes back. It goes up to Carrillo. Off the handoff, he gains 3, and it's 2nd down and 7. Golden West left to right here tonight. Wind starting to pick up just a shade, getting that onshore flow from the Pacific Ocean directly behind us from where we're standing. Beautiful campus here at San Diego Mesa. Had a chance to kind of look it over before the game as this is an incomplete pass down the middle. And he was looking for Branson, and it goes over top of him. So now you've got a 3rd and 7 from the 46-yard line. Golden West with Branson on the near side along with Wiseman and Kennewell. On the other side of the offense is John Ojalabi. Kennewell takes off. There goes the pass. It goes to Kennewell at the 37-yard line, and he gets brought back. That's a big gain. It's going to be 17 yards for Golden West, and they will end up getting a first down out of it.
Pass complete to Nick Kennewell.
So Kennewell gets his first reception of the night, and the Rustlers keep it moving. Carrillo in the backfield as Ratzlaff gets set to take the snap. 3-step drop, still dropping back, rolling over to his right, tries to throw it to Branson, and it lands at his feet, incomplete.
Jake Ratzlaff pass incomplete.
So the Golden West Rustlers have gotten an opportunity to get 1 first down off their first play of the drive. Then they convert on 3rd. Now they've got a 2nd down and 10 to go. 4 receiver set here for Golden West. Far side is Ojalabi and Branson. Near side is Wiseman and Kennewell. In the backfield is Gianni Hurd. Changing things up here at the line of scrimmage will end up being Ratzlaff. Kennewell steps back. It's going to be a handoff to Hurd. Hurd gets past 1, gets past 2, muscling past the line of scrimmage, and finally gets wrestled down. It will be a 2nd down and 3 to go as he gains 7. Gets himself all the way up to the 31-yard line, and they are back once again in San Diego Mesa territory for the last 3 plays.
Julian Sanderlin in on the tackle. Blown out the 31.
Gianni Hurd stays directly behind Ratzlaff.
3rd and 3.
As Ratzlaff takes the snap, looks for Hurd. He ends up finding Branson far side, tries to cut back to the middle, and he gets up to the 24-yard line. They give him the 23 to gain, and it will be a first down Golden West as the Rustlers keep it rolling.
Pass complete to Tanner Branson.
Golden West trying to get up to the line of scrimmage as quickly as possible as substitutions are coming off the field for the defense. Gianni Hurd gets to 1, trucks over a guy at the 20, and he gets up to the 19. Golden West into the red zone. 8:10 on the clock, 3-0. Golden West with the lead. They are in field goal territory should they get to that possibility.
Carries it to the 19-yard line.
As Jake Cypress, his long so far this year is 40. Kennewell, near side. He's there with Branson. Ratzlaff drops back, loses the football. He's going to jump on it, try and take it upfield, loses 2 yards, and that will bring up 3rd down and 9. It looked like Ratzlaff, as he dropped back, he went to throw it towards Branson, but Branson at the last moment gets covered by Chris Alba. So he tries to double clutch it, and by the time that he stops the motion, the ball was out of his hands. He has to step on it, recovers, tries to pick it up and run for 3 more. He does so successfully, but it's still 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So they lose yardage, and it's a 3rd down and 9 coming up. 2 guys near side in Torrance Wiseman and Kennewell. He drops back. Ratzlaff looking for someone, still looking for someone. Wiseman up the middle, it's tipped into the air and intercepted. Nope, incomplete. They will say that the ball hits the ground, and not able to make the catch on the near side of the field is Bradley Fye. That ball goes off the helmet of Wiseman, popped 15 feet into the air. Fye is there along with Willie Blanco, and both of them collide at the same time, and they cannot keep the ball as they go to the floor.
And number 22
Fye having a heated conversation on the sideline as Cypress steps up to this kick, and it is no good, wide right. So for Cypress, he is now 10 of 13 this season, and Golden West is not able to get themselves back on the board. 6:56 left here in the first quarter. 3-0. Golden West with the lead. You are watching Golden West College football here on SportsNetUSA.net. So 3 straight plays, Albert, that Golden West would love to have back. You have the fumble by Ratzlaff that he picks up. You turn it around and have the interception, almost interception, excuse me, that ends up as an incomplete pass, and then that field goal lands wide right. So the Golden West Rustler defense is going to have to hop onto the field and get that momentum back for the Rustlers. If you are a Rustler fan watching at home, you see Wright getting into the backfield. He's going against Patterson, who gets 4 yards on the play. And on 2nd down, it will be 6 to go.
Handoff went to Kale Patterson.
Kale Patterson in the backfield. Far side of the offense now. Checking in is Noah Araujo. Araujo 8 receptions so far this season. Checks in as a tight end. You've got Dorsey with Jackson in addition to Owens. Those are the 3 receivers on the near side from top to bottom. Snap is taken. It goes to Patterson. He's stuffed immediately after getting the handoff, and he will end up losing 3 yards.
Handoff went to Kale Patterson. Hit for a loss.
On the tackle was Cody Savao.
Darren Vasquez. Vasquez on the defense for Golden West.
Cody Savao getting his first tackle of the game. Jonah Laban there as well as the Golden West Rustler defense moves up early. A free play coming up, and it will be tipped away and incomplete. Doesn't matter, as there were 2 flags. This will end up being an offsides on the defense as they take 2 steps a shade too early before that snap is released, and it will end up being a penalty against the Rustlers.
Encroachment, defense.
Ends up being encroachment.
5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Score is 3-0 with 5:48 to play in the first. Golden West with 1 field goal by Cypress, and then he misses the second from just a shade over 33 yards out.
For the Olympians, the ball just shy of the 29.
3rd down and 3 to go. As you heard in the background, the 29-yard line is where that ball is placed. Makihele near side, joined by Jackson in the slot. Far side is Deshaun Owens, a split back set. He's got Patterson and Butler. He moves Jackson to the far side in motion, looking for a screen pass. He's got Patterson off the screen, and he gains 6 yards on the play, and it's enough for a 1st down. He gets him up to the 35-yard line. 1st and 10, San Diego Mesa. Scores from around the state of California. We mentioned earlier Fullerton and Saddleback. Fullerton 31, Saddleback 30. That is a final there. El Camino and Chaffee, and to say that El Camino had a nice afternoon is an understatement. 55-3, they beat Chaffee. That is a final there. Another team on SportsNetUSA.net, LA Valley, ends up playing Santa Monica 31-28. Santa Monica takes that one in a final by 3. 5 minutes on the clock left here in the first. Reich trying to get into the backfield. Moving away is Gunnar Gray, looking for someone near side. He's got Jackson, who falls on the football and is able to make the catch at the 41-yard line. They'll back him up to the 40, so it's a 2nd down and 5 to go. Continuing around Southern California, Mount Sac 7-3. They lead it with 8 minutes to go in the first quarter there. Here's Patterson trying to get past the first level and first wave of Rustlers, and Ismael Souza is able to get the tackle there as he gets up to the 41-yard line. Total gain of 1. Excuse me, that was Butler on the carry.
On the tackle, ball just over the 41-yard line.
East LA and Bakersfield. It is 3-0. Bakersfield with the lead with 9:15 to go in the first. East LA here on SportsNetUSA.net. Albert Robles getting to see that team all season long as Gunnar Gray tries to get the defense to move for Golden West. Get an accurate read. Makihele near side. Dorsey, Jackson, Owens from bottom to top on the far side. Tossed over to Jackson. He makes the catch. Can't get past the initial tackle, but he gets enough for a first down. He's got 7 yards on the play, and the ball moves up to the 48-yard line.
Complete to Timian Jackson for an Olympian first down.
So Timian Jackson with 3 receptions so far. Second on the team. He's got 25 for this season and over 300 yards. They go to Dorsey. 4-yard gain. In the slot right at the Mesa logo. They get into Golden West territory for the first time tonight. 3:20 on the clock here in the first quarter. 3-0. 3-0. That is our score. With San Diego Mesa trying to move their way downfield. Gotten a couple first downs on this drive. For San Diego Mesa, their first 2 offensive possessions both ended in punts. Snap is taken, given over to Patterson. Patterson make it Butler, trying to get past Reich, and Reich is there. He comes flying into the backfield, and he's able to trip up Butler.
Tripped up in the backfield by number 24, Alex Wright.
So with 2:40 on the clock here in the first, that's a big play for Golden West. They march him back 3. 3rd down, 9 to go from the 49-yard line of San Diego Mesa. The Olympians and Gunnar Gray taking a look at the sideline. Quincy Welch is the backup QB, giving the signs to Gunnar Gray. Gray with 1,600 yards this season. Already has 40 yards passing in this first quarter alone. Drops back, gets pressured by Sousa down the middle. It's in the air, it's tipped up, and it's past Dorsey and incomplete. Dorsey got his hands on it, and it ends up popping off his hand and down to the 10-yard line. Incomplete pass, and that will be a 4th down coming up for the Olympians.
4th and 9 from the Olympian 49.
So the Olympians will get set to kick it away for the 3rd time tonight. Remember, the first time finished with a muff snap that landed at the 11. The second time, they got the kick away, and it went for about 35 yards. Warren to kick this one away. Fire sale there for the Golden West Rustlers as they try and get to that ball before it's kicked away. And it will end up being downed and, fair caught at the 14-yard line. So near hash is where it will be placed, and a 1st down and 10 to go with exactly 1:59 on the clock here in the first quarter. 3-0, Golden West with the lead. You are watching Golden West College football here on SportsNetUSA.net. So the Golden West Rustler offense, last time they were on the field, were able to get 3 first downs, but got stuck inside the 20-yard line. Ratzlaff controlling the offense, drops back, looks near side. He's got Kennewell, gets pushed to the sideline, and that will be an incomplete pass. In on the coverage there on the near side of the field will end up being Junior Akintunde. And a nice job there by Junior to make sure that Kennewell didn't have an opportunity to get to that football.
Second and 10 for the Rustlers from the 14.
So 2nd down and 10 to go. It will end up being handed off. Carrillo gets stuffed right at the line of scrimmage. He ends up gaining 1. But that is an excellent tackle that is made by John Carroll.
Two-yard pickup on the carry by Carrillo. It's 2nd and 8.
So you've got 3rd down and about 9 to go. Snap is taken. Back goes Ratzlaff. He's looking, slings it across. He's got Ojalabi, and Ojalabi gets dropped down after gaining 12 yards on the play. 1st down, Golden West. Up to the 27-yard line. That's where Ratzlaff was able to almost sidearm that football forward. And he is able to get them into 1st down territory. And the Rustlers keep it moving. Kennewell and Wiseman near side of the field. Johnson is in the backfield. Far side is Branson and Ojalabi. Ratzlaff moves Branson into motion near side. He got Johnson on a screen pass, moves past one, can't get past the awaiting arms of Moskovitz, and Moskovitz is able to make the tackle, actually make that DeAndre Dunkley. And for DeAndre Dunkley this season, that is his 10th tackle. And he's able to make the stop after a gain of 4 yards. 2nd down and 6 to go at the 31. Near side is Branson and Kennewell. Far side is Wiseman and Ojalabi. Back goes Ratzlaff. He wants Wiseman. He's got a diving catch. Did he haul it in at the 45? He does indeed. 1st down, Golden West. That's a big pickup for Wiseman. What an excellent reception there by Wiseman as he beats his defender, lays out parallel, and is able to secure that ball into his chest and bring it in at the 44-yard line of the Olympians. 1st down, Golden West. It's their 2nd of this drive. That will bring us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. It's 3-0, Golden West College with the lead. You are watching Golden West College football here on SportsNetUSA.net. And speaking of SportsNetUSA.net, we want to remind you that all games here on SportsNetUSA.net are brought to you by Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Hey, you know the holidays are coming up. You've got Thanksgiving right around the corner. Christmas is there as well. You want that loved one, family member, or family friend to get around in style and safety. Maybe they want to take a trip and watch Golden West College football down near the San Diego Mesa area like tonight. Well, the best way to do it is by going to Miller Toyota of Anaheim, asking them, hey, what specials do you have? Hey, what type of cars, what type of vehicles can you show me that fit my needs best as possible? And they will do so at the corner of the 91 and Euclid. Miller Toyota of Anaheim supports high school sports, community college sports, but most of all, they support education. That is Miller Toyota of Anaheim. As we get set for this 2nd quarter of play, 15 minutes go on the clock, and Golden West with that 3-point spot on the board, trying to extend it here. They've got a 1st down and 10 to go from the 44-yard line of San Diego Mesa. They flip the field, so now Golden West will be going from right to left. Golden West in white. They hand it off to Hurd. Nope, it's actually going to be a play-action pass to the near side to Wiseman, and Wiseman will make the catch. He'll gain 8, and it's a 2nd down and 2 to go from the 38-yard line.
Pass complete to Torrance Wiseman.
On the field for Golden West College, near side, it's Ojalabi. He's out wide to the left at the 40-yard line. In the slot on the far side is Wiseman and Branson, and then at the opposite 40 is Kennewell. In the backfield is Gianni Hurd with Ratzlaff. Ratzlaff in the pistol. He looks to hand it off. He'll give it up to Hurd. Hurd gets past one and then gets gang tackled right at the 34-yard line. But it's good enough for a 1st down for the Rustlers. A gain of 5 on the play, and Golden West keeps this drive moving.
Picks up a 1st down.
In on the tackle there for the San Diego Mesa Olympians will be Julian Sanderlin.
Mesa 34.
Ojalabi near side with Branson. It's Wiseman and Kennewell on the top of your screen. Here's Hurd taking a look. He doesn't end up getting the football as it goes out to Wiseman. And Wiseman will gain 6. They'll actually give him a total of 7 on the play. So a second down and 3 to go. And this is what we saw last week with Golden West College. Once Ratzlaff found himself in a little bit of a no momentum spot in the first quarter, they started moving over to screen passes, those quick outs as well, to get him into a rhythm. And then all of a sudden, that offense started rolling for Golden West. The first 2 offensive possessions don't end up going the way that they like. All of a sudden, on this possession, they're gaining a lot of yardage on those slants and also those quick outs. This goes to Branson. He gets decked at the 25-yard line, but he's able to make the catch. And will they give him the 24 and a first down? It looks like they will indeed, and the chains will move. A beautiful night here at San Diego Mesa. Earlier we mentioned the campus directly behind us, all the athletic venues and facilities as well. The Olympians bring up 4. They're going to go to Hurd. Actually, it will be Ratzlaff who dials his own number, drops it back to the near side. He's near the end zone to the 1, and he gets brought down actually at the 2. Ratzlaff looked like he gave it to Hurd, makes one guy miss, and that was it for a 14-yard gain. Actually, excuse me, they're going to call it a 23-yard gain as he goes from the 25-yard line all the way down to the 2. So inside the 2-yard line, that's where Golden West is. Ojalabi, near side. Branson and Kennewell, far side. Gianni Hurd takes it left side of the offense, tries to keep it moving, but he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that is all. So it will be a second down and goal to go from the 2-yard line.
Handoff to Gianni Hurd. Jacob Wiggins on the initial hit.
San Bernardino Valley and Southwestern, 14 seconds to go in the first quarter there. It's San Bernardino Valley 7, Southwestern 6. 3 receivers set for Golden West. They go with Johnson on the left side of the offense with Hurd in the backfield. It goes to Hurd. Hurd off the handoff, gets up to the 1, and he gets stopped there. So he does get 1, but that will be it. And a 3rd down and 1 to go. Actually, excuse me, 3rd down and goal to go from the 1. Looked like Ratzlaff wasn't initially sold on giving that up to Gianni Hurd because he wanted to take it himself, but by that point, Hurd was committed to it. So, Ratzlaff, directly behind him is Hurd. They try and quarterback sneak it into the end zone. Did he get the goal line? They will say that he is stopped initially inside the 1-yard line, and that will be a 4th down and goal to go from the 1. So Ratzlaff tries to hop up to it quickly, and the offense for Golden West is going to jog off the field, and it will be a field goal attempt coming up for Jake Cypress. Ball is spotted at the 1-yard line. You add 10 for the end zone. Makes it about an 18-yard attempt. Little chip shot here. Poked up. Looking at the uprights is Cypress, and he gets it to go. Cypress is 2 of 3 today, and he adds an extra 3 on the board. 6-0, Golden West with the lead with 11:02 left on the clock here in the first half. You are watching Golden West College football here on SportsNetUSA.net. Ryan Osborn, Albert Robles making the drive down here with this Golden West College squad, who is currently up 6-0. So, a great drive for Golden West College that goes from inside their own 10-yard line all the way down to the 1-yard line, but stops there, Albert, and Golden West just isn't able to get into the end zone from inside the 15 for the 3rd straight drive.
It's very unfortunate for Golden West. I mean, they made some excellent plays to get to that 1-yard line and have those, 3rd, 2nd, and goal situations, but unfortunately unable to get into the end zone. Definitely should have been 6, additional 6 on the board and not 3.
So getting set to kick it away will end up being Cypress. Golden West now going from right to left. Boots it up into the air. It's Dorsey and Jackson who are back to receive. It goes to Jackson at the 5. Goes to the near side, gets stuffed there by 3-4 guys, and he will end up getting back to the 25-yard line.
Kickoff return by Timmy and Jackson.
1st and 10 for San Diego Mesa at the 25-yard line as they start things off. 10:55 to go here in the second quarter. 6-0 Golden West with the lead. You look at this matchup. Number 4 versus number 10 in the state of California. The only 2 losses for San Diego Mesa this season were to a top 2 team, or excuse me, a top 3 team in Ventura and San Bernardino Valley, who is inside of their own division. This is a Mesa program that has the ability to be dynamic. And it looks like a timeout is going to be called by San Diego Mesa. So that will be their first that they take of the first half of play. And with 10:55 on the clock here in the second quarter, it's 6-0. Golden West with the lead. You are watching Golden West College football here on SportsNetUSA.net. Canyons and Ventura at this moment with 10:50, almost exactly the same spot in their game as we are here. Canyons hosting that one. They lead it 7-3 over Ventura. And again, Bakersfield and East LA, they are now tied at 3 apiece with 13:26 to go in the second quarter there. Offense for San Diego Mesa hops back onto the field. Back is Gray, looks to the near side. He's got Patterson, or is it Butler? It ends up being Butler. And Butler will get back to the line of scrimmage. That's what they will say. He only gets about a half yard on the play, and it goes to a 2nd down and 10 to go.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 from the 25.
San Bernardino Valley 7, Southwestern 6 as they start the second quarter there. And then Cerritos up 14-7 over Riverside. 12:19 to go in the first half. Gray wasn't expecting that snap. He takes it off his hip, trying to roll over to the 20, tosses it down the middle to Jackson. Jackson spins away from one, but gets taken down by Reich.
Pass over the middle, complete to Timmy and Jackson. Alex Wright on the tackle. Gunnar Gray to Jackson. First down, Olympians. The ball at the 36.
Gunnar Gray takes a look. Now is going to get word from the sideline. Gray taking a look. He's got Butler to his right. Steps back, leaves it for Deshaun Owens. Owens makes the catch, and he pops Iman Lavoie afterwards. That will end up being a gain of 8 yards, leading to a 3rd down and 2 to go. Ball is placed at the 44-yard line. They've got to get up to the 46 for a first.
Ball at the 44-yard line.
Jackson in the slot on the near side. He's got Owens out wide to the right. Butler is in the backfield. Far side of the field, it ends up being Dorsey in the slot, and Makihele wide to the left. He looks for Dorsey. He's got him. First down. Gain of about 10 afterwards, and that will end up not only moving the chains, but moving them into Golden West territory at the 46. They'll leave him up to the 45-yard line, and 1st and 10 to go for the Olympians. They try to get on the board for the first time today. 9 minutes left in the first half. 6-0 is our score. Snap is taken. Dropping back is Gray. He's going to heave it downfield. He's looking for Owens. Back is Lavoie. He looks to break it up. Incomplete. San Diego Mesa unhappy that there wasn't a pass interference call. But both guys, Cody Savao and Owens, were both kind of hand-checking each other as they went down the field, and neither one was in a position to make the catch. So a 2nd down and 10 to go, and it's at the 45 once more.
The ball at the Golden West 45.
Here's Gray, far side. He ends up finding Makihele, who makes the catch, loses the football, but they say forward progress had been stopped at the 42-yard line. So a quick whistle will end up keeping the football with the Olympians, and they've got a 3rd down and 3 to go at the 38.
The ball at the Rustler 38-yard line. Third and 3.
Gunnar Gray with a 3rd down and 3 to go from the 38-yard line. Clock ticking to about 8 minutes left in the first half. San Diego Mesa has not been able to get on the board as of yet. They're trailing at 6-0. 2 different field goals for Cypress, leading to their advantage. Golden West brings the house. They give it up to Jackson, and Jackson is able to make one man miss, and he will gain a lot.
Pass over the middle, complete to Timmy and
He gets 18 yards on the play, going from the 45 all the way to the 27-yard line. Going up quick are the Olympians. They want to get things rolling here with 7:35 on the clock. They hand it off to Butler, bring it back, toss to Dorsey, and it goes in and out of his hands, incomplete. As the night keeps rolling on, you're going to probably see a lot more drop passes coming up as it gets colder. Myself and Albert Robles over to our left doing the best we can to keep our hands cold. So just imagine what the athletes have to go through as they are down on the field trying to make catches. Makihele, far side of the field. Out wide to the left. Near side is Dorsey, Jackson, and Owens. In the backfield is Patterson. He's on the left hip of Gunnar Gray. Gray steps up to the line. He'll take the snap. Looking to the far side of Makihele, and it is incomplete. That ball was tipped away at the very last second by Prince Ford, and he is able to make the defense and make sure that it lands on the field.
Prince Ford defending. Third and 10, ball at the 27.
Seven and a half to go here in the first half. Rolling right is Gray. He ends up getting pushed to the floor by Neal, and it's incomplete at the 22-yard line. Yeah, 22-yard line. And it brings up a 4th down. So that was a big 3rd down and 10. And Golden West got the stop. Now, if you're the Olympians, you're faced with a question. Offensively, in terms of field goals, you've got Dominic Camacho, who is 6 of 7 this season, with a long of 42 yards. They're going to trot him out here. Ball is at the 27-yard line. You add 10 for the end zone. That's 37. Add 7. It would be his career long, as it would be a 44-yard attempt for Camacho, and a timeout is taken. Looks like it's Golden West, and that is indeed the case. So, with 7:25 left to go here in this first half of play, it is 6-0, Golden West with the lead. You are watching SportsNetUSA.net in Golden West Rustler football. So a big moment here for San Diego Mesa. They haven't been able to get points yet. They have a chance here. 4th down and 10 to go from the 27-yard line. And Albert, if you take a look at this, 44 yards is what this would be. For Camacho, his career long is 42. He did that 3 weeks ago. 6 of 7 this season for 86%. With a cold night like this, not much carry on this football. Big moment for San Diego Mesa.
Very much so. And if he's able to get this kickoff, not only would it be a big momentum change for Mesa, but also personal best for their kicker.
So Camacho gets set to line it up. 44 yards is where this would be sitting at. Camacho takes a deep breath. Everyone for Golden West getting set to send them. It's up, it's away. It's not going to have the distance initially. Does it get through? It does indeed. It just sneaks through, and Camacho has a career-long field goal. Camacho had just enough leg to sneak it past the crossbar, and he gets the Olympians on the board. 6-3 is our score with 7:19 left to go here in the second quarter. You are watching Golden West Rustler football here on SportsNetUSA.net. Albert, you just mentioned the momentum possibilities for this Olympian squad. You see that football get away initially. The trajectory, it's like a low line drive in golf. You step up to it with an iron. You say, I want it to stay below the trees. That's exactly what he does there, and it just sneaks in.
It definitely was nice and straight all the way through, and for a minute it definitely did not look like it had the distance, but it continued to float, continued to carry, which is still very impressive considering the cold temperatures that we have right now. Balls typically don't carry when you reach these low temperatures.
So Camacho is going to swing this one away. Lavoie and Gianni Hurd are both back to receive. A big 3 points on the board for San Diego Mesa there as Camacho gets his career-long 44 yards. And he now improves to 7 of 8 this season with 3 from beyond 40. 7:19 on the clock as he approaches and sends this one away to about the 4-yard line where stepping back will be Lavoie. He drops it initially and goes towards the far side of the field. Cuts back to the inside. There's a flag, and this will be marched back as he gets stopped at the 24-yard line.
That was Iman Lavoie on the kickoff return.
So an initial panic there for Golden West as Lavoie has that go off his right shoulder to the floor, but it pops back up into his arms, and he's able to run with it. However, there's a flag at the 17-yard line, and it's going to be a holding call against Gianni Hurd. So that will be a 10-yard penalty, as you hear in the background, and it will march it all the way back to the 7-yard line. They're actually going to give him the 8. So first down and 10 inside their own 10 for Golden West College. 7:08 to play. Golden West leading it 6-3. A battle of field goals between these two teams. In the backfield is Carrillo. Carrillo gets the handoff on the right-hand side. He's loose. He's got a chance at the 20. He gets past one, gets up to the 30-yard line, and that's a huge gain of 22 yards. All he had to do was beat one more guy, and he just ends up getting shoestring tackled at the 30. They end up bringing him back to the 29, so 22 yards on the carry, and that is huge as it gets Golden West from inside their own 10. Near side of the field, they're going to end up bringing Ojalabi and Branson. Carrillo stays in the backfield. He will not get the handoff this time. It's Ratzlaff. He powers his way to gain 2.
Ezra Christensen and Johnny Vega in on the tackle. Ball now at the 32-yard
Offense
line.
For Golden West, now with a 2nd down and 7 yards to go. Ratzlaff takes the snap. He hands it off. Carrillo again off the right tackle. He will end up getting up to the 42-yard line and gets brought back. San Diego Mesa fans loving the tackle at the end of the play. And it will be brought up to the 41-yard line and a first down for Golden West College.
Carrillo. Charles Scott on the hit. Carrillo picks up 1st and 10. Rustlers at the 41.
Snap is taken. Here's Carrillo on the left-hand side. And if you're Golden West, right now you're looking at Carrillo on this drive specifically. He is getting you some yardage. 22 yards on his first carry. His second carry goes for about 13, and this one goes for a very difficult 5 to get them a 2nd down and 5 to go.
The handoff went to Mike Carrillo. The ball now at the 46-yard line. Gain of 5, 2nd and 5.
2nd down and 5 to go. Ball is spotted at the 46-yard line. Stepping back is Ratzlaff. He's got Johnson to his right, wants to roll right, heaves it downfield, looking for Wiseman over top of him, and it will land incomplete at the 40-yard line. 4:52 is where the clock is stopped right now. 2nd quarter. 6-3 is our score. Golden West College with the 3-point lead. They've got 2 field goals to San Diego Mesa's 1. And they've got a 3rd down and very manageable at the 46. Again, Golden West going from right to left offensively here in the 2nd quarter. 4:52 on the clock and a 3rd down and 5. They've got to get to the 49-yard line of San Diego Mesa. Turning to his right is Ratzlaff. Has some initial pressure. He gets taken down, and it's a sack for the San Diego Mesa Olympians. 4th down coming up for Golden West, a loss of 1, and that will be a punt situation, the first of the night for the Rustlers.
And if you're Mesa, that's exactly the stop that you needed at this stage, because if you're Mesa can come away with a point at this time, again, as we talked about momentum earlier, it'll be a huge swing for Mesa given how it's been a very defense-heavy game so far.
So Guzman is going to kick it away. He's been fantastic for Golden West up until this point. San Diego Mesa will pick it up. They fall on it at the 18-yard line, and that will end up being a huge special teams play for the Olympians. Falling on it there is Willie Blanco. And you want to talk about special teams and defense coming up. Right there, the Olympians get the block, and they are inside the red zone.
Willie Blanco there very, very close to coming away with a scoop and score. But fortunately, he's still able to get the distance, keep the ball inbounds, and fall on and keep possession.
For San Diego Mesa, getting the block there is Tor Stansbury, listed as a 5'9" freshman out of Poway. So he gets the block, and here's a huge chance for the Olympians. You were talking about momentum with that field goal. Career long for Camacho. Now all of a sudden, San Diego Mesa has a chance to convert this into points. They go with the initial handoff at the 20-yard line, and it's brought back for an overall loss of 3. A 2nd down and 13 coming up.
Josue Alexander in on the tackle.
3:50 on the clock. 6-3 is our score. Golden West with the lead.
To the 20-yard line.
And here's the other thing, too, about that 44-yard field goal attempt that they convert on. Now for the rest of the game, you have that confidence in Camacho. As long as you're inside a 44-yard attempt, you're good to go. You have the knowledge saying we have that pressure off our backs. Going back is Gray. He fades it near side. Owens just in front of him.
Pass intended for DJ Owens in the end zone. Incomplete.
They try and get it to Owens. He was at the near side pylon, but it ends up being incomplete. 3rd down and 13 to go. They've got to get up to the 6-yard line. Actually, excuse me, the 7-yard line to get a 1st down. In the backfield is Kale Patterson. Over 400 yards rushing this season. Achieved that mark today in the 1st quarter. Dropping back, here's a screen up to Patterson. He's got the 20, now the 10. He's got one blocker in front of him, stays on his feet, into the 5, reaches for the pylon. He's down at the 1. Huge play for Kale Patterson, who we were just talking about. And he's got some all-purpose yardage to his resume and gets a 1st and goal for the Olympians.
Big-time play by Patterson is going to put Mesa in the best position they've had all night so far to put 6 on the board.
So now here's a big spot for this Golden West Rustler defense. They've got to come up big here with a stop inside the 1-yard line. 1st and goal. In the backfield is Patterson. They hand it off to him. Stuffed initially. He reaches for the end zone but does not get there. The stop will be made by Iman Lavoie, who has the first contact inside the line of scrimmage. And it's a 2nd down and goal to go from the 1-yard line. Ismail Souza is going to check out for this Rustler defense. Get a little bit more size here on the line. Patterson still in the backfield, make it Butler. They hand it off to Butler, trying to get up. He gets stuffed right at the 2. Loss of 1, and that will bring up 3rd down and goal to go from the 2-yard line. So now if you want to talk about momentum and how it can change here, you've got 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line coming up. And here's a big opportunity for Golden West College defensively, as there is a Olympian currently down on the field. So an injury timeout for both of these two teams. But if you're Golden West College, you're looking at it saying, okay, if we hold it here, hold them to a field goal, that's a win because they were inside our 1 and they still make the stop. However, you flip it over to the other side, San Diego Mesa. If they can convert on points here, now you're looking at it as career-long field goal. In addition to a big special teams block, you add that on to the 20-yard screen pass inside the 1 and points. Well, now all of a sudden you're looking at inside 2 minutes to play here in this first half. You've not only got the momentum, but you've got a lead. Ryan Osborn, Albert Robles to my left. And Albert, you look at tonight's game, and you talked about defenses going back and forth, and it just seems like both of these defenses have taken that old cliche. You know, at sportsnetusa.net, we hate those cliches. We hate the practice makes perfect, the everything take it one day at a time, every snap, one snap at a time. But if you want to go to a cliche right now, you take a look at what San Diego Mesa can do right now. Bend but don't break has been the mantra for both of these two defenses. They give up a lot of yardage on drives, 40, 50, 60 yards we've seen on 3 consecutive drives for either team, but they don't allow a touchdown. Can that trend stay the same here from inside the 2-yard line? 3rd down and goal to go from the 2-yard line, as coming up to the ball is Patterson. They've got Butler as a blocker on the right-hand side. Rustler defense trying to crowd the line. Snap goes back. It's going to be a toss near side end zone. Incomplete pass. It goes in and out of the hands of Brody Schicker, and it will be a 4th down and goal to go from the 2. Decision time for San Diego Mesa. Do you go for it from inside the 2, or do you allow Camacho to take over and get the points? Everyone talking it over. Head coach Gary Watkins having a conversation with Gunnar Gray, and they're going to go for it. 4th down and goal to go from the 2-yard line. They have had 3 straight snaps inside the 1 and the 2. Haven't gotten it in. In the backfield is Josh Butler. 2 receivers far side. One of them is Owens. Snap is taken. Butler gets stopped at the 4-yard line.
That's going to be a huge, huge critical turnover on downs, Ryan, and could possibly be one of the biggest plays of this game.
Laban is the one who gets to him at the 3, and he is stopped. You want to talk about momentum, Albert? It has changed completely. Inside the 1-yard line, San Diego Mesa is able to get 4 snaps away, and all 4 don't get them 6.
They have 1:47 left on the clock. They have plenty of timeouts, and they've already shown that they're capable of driving all the way down the field and coming away with points, even if it's just a field goal.
And here's the other thing to it as well. When you look at Golden West College, they deferred to the second half. So not only do they have the time and the timeouts to work with, they're getting the ball to start off the 3rd quarter. And you want to talk about timeouts left on the board? We might have one here, as the officials are going to end up giving a delay of game against Ratzlaff. So half the distance to the goal. It was at the 3-yard line. They will mark it back to the 2. Big moment here. San Diego Mesa, expect them to bring up a lot. They've got 4 at the line of scrimmage. They send 2 more. Gianni Hurd turns to his right. He's got a little bit more room. Gets up to the 5 to the 6. That's where they will mark him down. So that's huge for the rushing game. Gianni Hurd has been on it today for Golden West College. And at the 6-yard line, he makes it a 2nd down and 7 to go.
Going out the 6-yard line. Second and 7 from the 6.
Snap is taken. Ratzlaff near side tries to find Ojalabi. He makes the catch off of 1 foot at the 20-yard line. They will say the reception is made. However, a flag went flying, and the question is, was it offensive pass interference on Ojalabi when he creates the separation? So Ojalabi sees the initial ruling as a catch, and it will actually be a sideline warning. So a reception is made. That's a first down, Golden West College, and he gets out of bounds as well.
Ojalabi, first down, Golden West. Ball at the 20.
Snap is taken. Johnson over to his right, gets past the line of scrimmage, gets about 2 on the play, and makes it second down and 8 to go. Clock's going to continue to run. 45 until the end of the first half. Nick Mitchell talking to the officials. He's going to let the clock keep going, and Ratzlaff will take the snap. He drops back, looking for someone, has Branson to his left, heaves it downfield, right side, Kennewell in stride. He's got the reception at the 40, and he will make it not only a first down, that is a huge gain for Golden West College.
And also, just as important, he does manage to get out of bounds and stop the clock.
That goes as a 37-yard gain on that pass. You mention it. Getting out of bounds to stop the clock. They don't have to take off one of those 3 timeouts. So they have some room to work inside the 39-yard line. Snap goes back to Ratzlaff. Near side, he's got Ojalabi. Running for the sideline, he's got it. And the reception is made. 26-yard line is where he gets marked out. Another first down, Rustlers.
Ratzlaff's pass complete to John Ojalabi. Run out by Ethan Simley. First down, Rustlers. The ball at the 26.
26-yard line. Carrillo over to his left. Moves back. Rustler over to the far side. It's Kennewell. He collides with, it looks like Makihele on the far side. And it will be an incomplete pass as Kennewell was looking for the end zone. 21.7 on the clock.
Second and 10, Golden West at the Mesa 26.
So second down, 10 to go. Far side of the field is Kennewell and Branson. Near side is Wiseman and Ojalabi. In the backfield is Carrillo. In the pistol formation is Jake Ratzlaff. He's got the football, turns to his right, wants to step up, steps into it, and it's over top of Ojalabi and incomplete. Lots of contact just in the backfield, as that is going to be a penalty against Golden West College. That's going to go against Nava as he steps over top of, it looks like Dunkel, who is on the ground. All Nava had to do was step to the side, and it would have continued to be a third down and 10 from the 26. But he intentionally steps over top of him. It will be an unsportsmanlike conduct. Actually, they give him an unnecessary roughness. So 15 yards, they'll mark it back, and it's a third down and 35.
I mean, sure.
Excuse me, 25, not 35.
I can see the point of throwing the flag, but there wasn't really any roughness. It definitely was unsportsmanlike, but I guess.
Interesting call for the officials, as timeout will be taken by San Diego Mesa as they want a chance to talk this over. Third and 25 coming up from the 40-yard line. Make it the 41 of San Diego Mesa. 16.4 on the clock here in the second quarter. You are watching Golden West College football here on SportsNetUSA.net. Our score right now is 6-3 with 16.4 left in the second quarter, as both of these two teams have traded field goals. 2 straight for Golden West, 1 for Camacho and San Diego Mesa, and that is the total of the scoring. 9 points divided by 2 teams, averaging 4.5 between both of them. But both of these teams have been inside the 1-yard line for an entire first and goal series, and both of them were not able to get into the end zone.
The ball at the Olympian 41.
Remember, Golden West had a chance early in the second quarter. They were inside the 1 for 3 straight plays, couldn't get it in. San Diego Mesa, 4 straight plays, they turned it over on downs. Here's a big 3rd down and 25. Remember, Golden West gets the football entering the 3rd quarter of play. 16.4 on the clock. Rolling right is Ratzlaff. He's looking for Kennewell. Still looking down the field. He's got Branson sent out of bounds. He gets decked. 2 different Olympians collide at the 25-yard line, and we will see what Golden West will do. They're kind of playing with house money here, Albert, because they got a 4th down coming up and about 10 to go. But knowing that they get the football to come out of halftime, they have a chance to just kind of go for the end zone, but they switch it up and they go to Jake Cypress. Cypress, his career long so far is 40. This would be a career long for him, 42 yards. The kick is up, it's away, it's got the leg, it's wide left. And that's going to do it for the Golden West Rustler offense there with 3.3 seconds left to go before the half. It's 6-3 Golden West Rustlers with the lead here on SportsNetUSA.net. So Cypress had the leg to it, but swung it wide left. He is 2 of 4 for today. And Golden West not able to get back on the board before halftime. So again, we see that bending from a defense on either side, but no breaking, no touchdowns here in the first half of play.
1st and 10 Olympians, the ball at the 25. 3 seconds to go in the half.
What's interesting, Albert, is you look at the forecast here, and it says that some clouds are going to roll in the second half. As taking a knee will be San Diego Mesa, and they are content to send it into the half. Golden West, 6-3 with the lead over San Diego Mesa. You are watching Golden West College football here on SportsNetUSA.net. So, our score at the half, again, 6-3, Golden West with the lead as they take it to the end of the first 2 quarters of play. Here on SportsNetUSA.net, we want to remind you that all games here on SportsNetUSA.net are brought to you by the one and only Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Maybe you're looking for that used vehicle or that new vehicle for that loved one, knowing that the holidays are right around the corner. You know, Christmas is less than 2 months away. It's about a month and a half now. You have a chance to give that gift to that loved one, that friend, or maybe family member as well, because you want them to ride around in style and safety. Well, the way that you can do that, go to Miller Toyota of Anaheim, the corner of the 91 in Euclid, and say, hey, what do you guys have in stock for me? And they will tell you exactly what you need for that new or used vehicle of your choice. Miller Toyota of Anaheim supports high school sports, community college sports, but most of all, they support education. That is Miller Toyota of Anaheim. So Albert, over to my left-hand side, and you take a look at this first half of play between 2 teams. You mentioned it, a defensive battle between these 2 sides once they're inside their own red zone.
It's been a very interesting first half altogether. I mean, it's definitely been a display of defense and special teams overall. I think it's really going to come down to whichever team is able to score a touchdown first based off how the offense has been going on either side of the ball for these 2 teams.
So you take a look at this first half of play, the first quarter, owned by Golden West College, momentum-wise. You saw it, and you mentioned it as well. The defense was working. They got themselves a special teams big play. They got on the board twice, make it 6-0. However, in the second quarter, everything changed. San Diego Mesa started taking the advantage as they got their momentum by a long field goal. They get a special teams play. They get a big play on 3rd down, but can't get into the end zone. So, if we look at the second half, after how the first half trended so wildly, if you're looking at the early half of the 3rd quarter, if you're Golden West College, how are you making sure that you get another shot at the end zone?
Well, you really want to make use of that first possession coming out of that half, because we know that they're going to get the ball knowing that they won the coin toss. It's very important that Golden West, with that first possession, comes away with at least some points, ideally a touchdown, because that'll be very critical and put San Diego Mesa right on their backs and force them to try and actually get on the board each and every time.
So coming up, after halftime is done, Golden West College will have possession as they defer to the second half, just like Albert said. Our score, 6-3 into halftime. It's homecoming here at San Diego Mesa. So we will step aside. When we come back, we'll have some halftime stats for you in addition to the start of quarter number 3 here on SportsNetUSA.net. Our score at the end of 2 quarters of play, 6-3 Golden West. You are watching Golden West Rustler football here on SportsNetUSA.net. And we welcome you back to Golden West Rustler football here on SportsNetUSA.net. I am Ryan Osborn with Albert Robles live here on the call from San Diego Mesa, as our score at the end of 2 quarters of play was 6-3. Well, now we enter the third quarter after Golden West deferred to start off the game. They will receive here in the second half. And if you're looking at it from a person's perspective who hasn't joined us here in the first 2 quarters of play, here's how things went down. First quarter was all Golden West defensively and offensively. However, inside the 10-yard line, they weren't able to convert on 2 separate occasions. So they had to settle for a couple of field goals and a field goal miss. In the second quarter, it was all San Diego Mesa Olympians, except inside of the 15-yard line, as they had 2 different chances to convert and couldn't do so. They had to settle for a field goal and a turnover on downs from inside the 2. Both teams have been running up and down the field offensively. Neither team has been able to get into the end zone and has trouble inside the 20. So we'll see what this second half has in store for us as Camacho gets set to kick it away. Iman Lavoie back deep to receive, and it looks like it's going to be Cody Savao who is back to receive as well. Kicked away, it goes to Iman Lavoie at the 10-yard line. Lavoie due for a big return here, and he's got a lot of room to work with at the 35. He gets dragged down. 1st and 10, Golden West.
Kickoff return by Iman Lavoie. Michael Harkins on the tackle.
Out-of-town scoreboard, we've been watching that Canyons and Ventura score throughout the first half there. It's Canyons 7, Ventura 3. One of the top offenses in the country in Ventura has been limited to 1 field goal through 1 half of play, as they're just into the third quarter there. Another team here on SportsNetUSA.net this season was East LA. They currently lead at 17-16. As Gianni Hurd is loose, he gets up to the 50, and it's a 15-yard gain for Gianni Hurd. And if you're Golden West, start feeding him the ball. Get your offense going. As Gianni Hurd had a 22-yard gain earlier, he added 13 immediately on his next attempt. He adds 15 more here, and he's been clicking here tonight. Just underway here in the second half. 6-3 is the score. Golden West with the lead. They are at the 49-yard line with the 1st and 10. Snap is taken. It goes right up the middle. Incomplete pass as it goes in and out of the hands of Branson.
Pass over the middle intended for Tanner Branson. Broken up by Charles Scott. Scott on the defense. Second and 10.
14:20 on the clock. 2nd and 10 to go. They've got to get up to the 41-yard line of San Diego Mesa for a 1st down. It's Gianni Hurd off right tackle. He ends up cutting back to the inside, makes one guy miss, gets pushed down at the 49-yard line. Actually, excuse me, the 44-yard line, and will gain 7. So now you've got a 3rd down and 3 to go. And for Gianni Hurd, he is starting to churn out the yardage. Kennewell will be out wide on the near side of the field, 3 receivers on the far side. If you're looking at it from top to bottom on your screen, it's John Ojalabi, Torrance Wiseman, and Branson. Tanner Branson, the leading receiver, just off to the left of Ratzlaff. Gianni Hurd in the backfield. They will end up going over to Wiseman, who makes the catch at the 32-yard line. They give him the 31, and that's a first down for the Rustlers. And you're getting this sense, Albert, that if you're Golden West, it's crucial on this first possession to get into the end zone. They've had a lot of opportunities to do so, haven't been able to get to pay dirt. Now the question is, can they keep this drive moving? They've got a first down and 10 to go from the 31-yard line. Left hash, it goes to Ratzlaff. He gives it up to Carrillo. Carrillo makes one guy miss and finally gets pushed down at the 28-yard line. Second down and 7 to go.
Handoff went to Mike Carrillo. Zoquero on the tackle. Gain of 3 to the 28.
12:40 on the clock here in the third quarter, just underway from halftime. 6-3 is our score. Ball goes back to Ratzlaff. He tosses it up for Branson, leaning backwards, makes the catch at the 3. He hauls it into the 2, and it's a first down inside the 5 for Golden West College. An excellent backpedaling catch there by Branson, and he leads the team in receptions and shows you exactly why. He is now over 500 yards this season receiving-wise, and this is a big chance here for Golden West. Branson slot on the right. Far side is Ojalabi, near side Kennewell. Snap is taken, pitched off to Carrillo. He's got the edge, reaches for the pylon, or excuse me, the goal line. He's in. Touchdown, Golden West. And after initially having so much trouble for Golden West College trying to get into the end zone from inside the 5 in the first half, their first possession of the third quarter, they get it across the goal line with Carrillo. 12:08 on the clock. A flag is thrown. It might be on the celebration after the touchdown. So if that is true, it would bring back Golden West just a shade. The penalty is, in fact, against Golden West College. We'll see what the announcement is here.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 17 of the offense. That penalty will be enforced on the ensuing kickoff.
So an unsportsmanlike conduct against Gianni Hurd, and it will be enforced on the kickoff. So a little bit better of field position for San Diego Mesa as Cypress gets set to kick this one away. Extra points this season. He is 32 of 34. Kick is up. And the kick is good. 12-3. Well, you can add one more and make it 13-3. A 10-point lead for Golden West College. With 12:08 on the clock here in the third quarter of play, you are watching Golden West College football here on SportsNetUSA.net. So just what Albert Robles was talking about, into halftime, could Golden West College get themselves into the end zone? That was the imperative thing for this offense, and they do exactly that on their first drive.
If there's one thing I love more in this world, Ryan, it's when I'm right.
So the condensation collects here at San Diego Mesa as we continue through and on into this second half of play. We mentioned it earlier. The weather here, a cool 58 degrees. Things really starting to get cold. Maybe in the last 10 minutes or so, warming up just slightly. Why that is? Because we've got a lot of cloud cover rolling in. Things are getting a bit more hazy. And in fact, the weather report says that it could get foggy by the end or the middle half of the fourth quarter. So we'll see whether or not that affects anything as the ball starts to get a lot more slippery with the condensation. Kicked away to Jackson, who receives at the 15. He turns over to the right, and he will get shaken down at the 35-yard line. So about a overall net plus of 10 yards for San Diego Mesa on their offensive possession to start. 1st and 10 for the Olympians with 12 minutes exactly left here in the third. 13-3 is our score, 10-point lead for the Rustlers. You're watching Golden West College football here on SportsNetUSA.net.
The ball at the 35. 19 yards on the return by Cameron Brown.
And this possession right here, Ryan, is very important for Mesa because you really want to respond to that touchdown by Golden West and see if you can get points on the board. And equally as important, for Rustlers, you want to keep San Diego off the board.
That defensive line for Golden West has done an excellent job of bottling up the two running backs in Patterson and Butler for San Diego Mesa today. Kale Patterson this season sitting at over 400 yards rushing. And for Butler, he's just at about 294, close to 300.
2nd and 10 from the 35.
Offensive line taking a look and getting direction from Gunnar Gray. Gray had a few 20-yard passes in the first half. Tosses to the far side to Dorsey. He gets chased down from behind, and it's knocked away for a second and to the floor. In on the defense there was Pablo Araya. Araya went chasing after Dorsey and swung his right hand around Dorsey to pop it out of there. And he does, but it goes out of bounds. A 3rd down and about 6 coming up from the 39-yard line.
Mesa catching a huge break by that ball going out of bounds.
Butler is in the backfield to the right hip of Gray. He takes the snap, drops it back, 3 steps right up the middle, incomplete pass as it goes off the hands of Dorsey and to the floor. So a 4th down coming up for the Olympians. They trail it by 10, 13-3 is our score with 10:45 to go here in the third. Across the state of California, we mentioned it earlier, Fullerton winning by 1, 31-30 with a very late touchdown. That will have an effect that we'll get to more on later on. LA Valley, who has been on SportsNetUSA.net for quite some time, loses their game 31-28. Drop that one by 3. As this is punted away, it will end up getting to about the 30-yard line, take a very nice Olympian bounce, and get up to the 19. 1st and 10, Golden West coming up here in just a couple of moments. 10:34 on the clock in the third. 13-3, you're watching Golden West College football here on SportsNetUSA.net. So we were talking about that Fullerton College game. They win it by 1, which means that Golden West, if they're able to win this ball game, next week would have a huge game-changing, division-changing type of matchup at home against Fullerton College. They've got to get past San Diego Mesa first, though. San Diego Mesa playing for their playoff lives in this one. Ratzlaff. He's going to take the snap. He's looking for Carrillo. He gets stopped, but it's actually play action. They leave it over to Ojalabi at the 30. He's got 11 yards and a 1st down. Everyone was kind of faked out by Ratzlaff bringing it back into his own arms and tossing it. Everyone with the exception of Ojalabi, who makes the catch. Gains 11, up to the 31 is where it goes. 1st down and 10 to go. Kennewell near side, joined by Torrance Wiseman. Branson on the far side. He ends up moving backwards. It goes up the middle. Here's a carry by Carrillo. He makes one-man miss up to the 40, up to the 45, brought down from behind, and it's 15 yards on the gain. Carrillo dipping, scooping, shading his way to the outside, and he's able to make one guy miss and find a 15-yard gain. And the Rustlers on 3 straight plays get 3 straight 1st downs. 9:40 on the clock in the third. Rustlers with a 10-point advantage. Taken back by Ratzlaff up the field. He's got Wiseman, and it's too far out at the 30-yard line. He thought Wiseman was going to be outside the numbers. Wiseman takes his route inside, and that ball floats incomplete.
intended for Torrance Wiseman, incomplete.
9:32 on the clock.
Queen O'Maca Haley defending. Second and 10 from the 46.
.932 on the clock. Third quarter, 13-3. Ball is chased back to Ratzlaff, looking for Branson. Branson had just turned around to take a look at where that ball was, and it ends up flying past his knee. So now you've got a 3rd down and 10 to go. Ratzlaff is trying to get up to the line of scrimmage. He does so successfully. Can he get the snap away? He cannot. And just getting off the field is an injured Olympian. That ends up being, it looks like Nathan Doe, the 6-foot freshman out of Escondido. So a timeout has to be taken by San Diego Mesa as Golden West tried to get up to the line of scrimmage. 9:29 left here in the third quarter, 13-3. You are watching Golden West College football here on SportsNetUSA.net. We keep it rolling with the out-of-town scoreboard as the last check that we had over at Bakersfield with East LA. East LA still led it 17-16. And that is where it continues at this moment. 17-16, 14:01. Just coming out of halftime over in Bakersfield. Mount Sac and Palomar 34-17. Palomar with the advantage with 12:47 left to go in the third quarter there. And again, Golden West 13-3 over San Diego Mesa.
When play resumes, it'll be 3rd and 10.
3rd down and 10 to go. Far side of the field at the numbers is Ojalabi. Near side of the field at the numbers is Kennewell. Both receivers in the slot. From top to bottom are Branson and Wiseman. Wiseman is the one who's nearer to the line of scrimmage. In the backfield is Johnson. Ratzlaff, the freshman. Over 2,000 yards passing so far. He drops back. He tries to move up in the pocket, trying to get away. Still looking to get this football downfield, and it's in and out of the hands of San Diego Mesa. Breaking that up was Bradley Fye, and that is his 2nd time today that Fye has a football go in and out of his hands, and he had the opportunity for an interception. So that will be a 4th down and 10 to go, and the punt team comes onto the field. Guzman has been really good for Golden West College this season in terms of getting punts away. He averages about 37.1 yards per game. Or excuse me, per punt, and he gets this one all the way down to the, close to the 10-yard line. Inside the 10, it goes down to the 8. Guzman gets it away once more, and he is able to get nice field position for the Golden West Rustler defense.
And that's exactly the punt the Rustlers needed at this stage in time. Get that good field position considering the Rustlers could not come away with points with that last possession.
Ball goes over to the Olympians.
So a 46-yard punt there for Guzman, and he pins them inside their own 10. He had a good day against San Bernardino Valley as well. Now with chillier conditions down here at San Diego Mesa, he's able to get a good punt there after getting his last one blocked. 9:08 to go here in the third quarter. Back is Gray. Near side is Dorsey and Makihele. Patterson gets away for a second, make that Butler, and Butler is able to gain 6.
Went to Josh Butler. Butler picked up 7 yards, 2nd and 3 from the 15.
Two receivers near side. Dorsey watching it. It goes down to the far side to Owens, and Owens has it go in his hands. A reception is made. 20-yard line, and that will be a 1st down.
Gunnar Gray's pass complete to DJ Owens. 1st down Olympians at the 20.
.8:20 on the clock in the third. Dorsey, Makihele near side, Owens far side. It is Butler in the backfield. Snap goes back to Butler. He's trying to rush out wide to the 20. Knocked down. He gets one. And Reich is there for the tackle once more for Golden West College.
Handoff went to Josh Butler on a sweep left. Bumped down by Alex Reich.
Reich makes the play, gets the tackle. 2nd and 9 to go.
From the 21.
Olympians trying to get to the 30-yard line for a first down. Malachi Gatewood has the coverage on the near side against Makihele. Araujo in the slot on the right-hand side as the tight end. Actually, he's off to the right of the offensive line. Dropping back is Gray. He gets taken down. It's Neal. Neal anticipates the snap count and is in the backfield before Gray can look up and say, hey, what just happened? So Kylan Neal gets the snap, or excuse me, gets the snack. Gets the sack. There we go. Unlike Kylan Neal, I make a couple errors every once in a while. Neal gets the sack and he chases San Diego Mesa back a good 7 yards. So ball is now at the 13-yard line of San Diego Mesa. They've got a long ways to go. 3rd and 17 showing on the scoreboard with 6:40 to play in the third. Souza trying to get up. This goes to the near side, and Makihele did not know that that ball was away. And it goes behind him, incomplete, and the Rustler defense forces a 4th down. Update from Bakersfield. It is Bakersfield 24, East LA 17. 11:08 to go in that one. The other game we were watching in the top 10 is Canyons and Ventura. Ventura has gotten themselves back on the board, but it's 7-6. They got a field goal with 7 minutes left in the third quarter there. Here's the punt, just gets away. Gets up to the 40, bounces close to the 50. It goes back to the 48-yard line and stays in Olympian territory. There will be a flag on the near side, though. Is it running into the kicker or roughing the kicker? From an initial standpoint, it looked like it was running into the kicker, which will end up being a yardage penalty. Golden West is confused as they felt that there wasn't any contact there. But remember, there is a difference. Roughing the kicker is a personal foul and an automatic first down. Running into the kicker is yardage. 6:26 left in the third quarter. The officials trying to talk it over near side of the field as coaching staff for San Diego Mesa talks it over. The officials accidentally left their mic on earlier, and you could hear them say running into the kicker was the penalty. And so it will end up being exactly that. 5-yard penalty going against Golden West College. And that will end up making it a 4th down and 12 still. 18-yard line is where it will be kicked away from. For San Diego Mesa, Donovan Warren looking to kick this one away. Averages about 41 yards each attempt. There is some movement on the line initially. Ball gets sent into the air. Head over heels, it will be contacted and downed at the 46-yard line. Make it the 47. So after all is said and done, after the penalty marches them up the field, they end up with a net loss of 4 yards. Because initially it was downed at the 49. After the penalty, it gets downed at the 47. 2 yards, actually. Just got to make sure I do my counting correctly. 6:17 left here in the third, and Golden West has the football inside of Olympian territory already. Ratzlaff going back. He's got Johnson. He's got a block. No hold coming up, and the Olympian sideline is heated. They thought that that was a holding call at the 45-yard line, but it ends up just being a 6-yard gain for Johnson.
Gain of 6, the ball now at the 42-yard line. Second and 4.
Olympian sideline, not just the coaching staff, but here on the near side of the field with all the fans voicing their displeasure as well. 2 backs in there with Ratzlaff. Johnson going into motion far side. He gets that into his hands. Makes one guy miss at the 40. Gets tripped up and taken down at the 37-yard line. All it took was one hesitation step there by Johnson. He's rolling over to his left, sidesteps, plants his foot, lets the defender go rolling right past him, and then just takes one step to his right, and he's got an extra 5 yards. First down for Golden West College at the 36-yard line. Here's Ratzlaff finding Carrillo. Carrillo runs into one and gets taken down by a whole hive of Olympians. He gets one on the play, and they bring him up to the 35. We're marching down to the end of the third quarter here. 4:40 left in the third. Live here on SportsNetUSA.net, Ryan Osborn, Albert Robles. 13-3 is our score. Only one touchdown in this game, and it was by Golden West College on their first possession of the second half. Wind picks up a little bit here at San Diego Mesa. 4:20 on the clock. This is Johnson right up the middle, and he is able to get a hard churning 9 on the play to make it a 3rd down and 1.
Quick hitter went to Jared Johnson. Zoe Quero on the tackle.
Johnson in the backfield. Near side is Wiseman, joined by Branson and Kennewell. Far side is Ojalabi. Five guys on the line for Golden West College. Pitch over towards the left. Johnson able to get it into his hands. He makes one guy miss. Down the sideline. Touchdown, Golden West. However, there are 2 flags right at the line of scrimmage on the far side of the field, right in the area of a would-be hold. So it would have been a 27-yard touchdown run, but that is going to be marched back. There's the holding call against John Ojalabi on the far side of the field, and it will be a 10-yard penalty, which is a backbreaker, especially when you had a 3rd down and 1 coming up and that touchdown run. Or excuse me, not touchdown run, but touchdown reception. So a 3rd down and 9 to go. Clock still running at 3:20 left. 13-3. 3rd down and 9. It was from the spot of the foul. Johnson goes into the motion off to the right. Rolling right is Ratzlaff. Looking for Wiseman. It is in the hands of Kennewell, who makes the catch. That ball was supposed to go to Wiseman at the 20. Kennewell sticks his paw out, snatches it with one hand, juggles it for a moment at the 24-yard line. They give him the 23, and it's a 1st down for Golden West. Not where the pass was going, but Kennewell with active hands and eyes is able to haul it in, and that's a 1st down for Golden West College.
Such fantastic awareness to stay inside of bounds and also make that catch.
Play action. They go to Branson right down the middle. He ends up having his forearm hit the ground. It will be a gain of 9 at the 14-yard line.
Pass over the middle, complete to Tanner Branson. Bradley Fee on the tackle.
Guy in the backfield is Johnson. Wiseman taking a look at Ratzlaff. Gets direction as to where he's going. Kennewell near side of the field. Branson and Ojalabi on the far side. The normal 4 set of wide receivers for Golden West College. Johnson hesitates initially, gets stuffed, loses his helmet, and is still end up getting hit at the end, and that's going to be a personal foul. At the end of the play, Johnson loses his helmet and diving directly into his head to make contact is Blaze Zito. And that should be a personal foul against the Olympians and a 1st and 10 Golden West College.
The play was over. Personal foul, number 22 on the defense.
There is the personal foul, excuse me. It's not going to go against Zito. They announce it as going against Bradley Fye. And for Fye, that is a dangerous hit there because Johnson loses his helmet and Fye goes directly into his head to make contact. No targeting there, but they do get the personal foul at the end of the play for unnecessary roughness.
And looking at the effort of the players at the end of the play, you can tell it wasn't intentional, just very unfortunate. Just the fact of the helmet coming off, just the situation itself made it very dangerous.
He had already committed to making the tackle before the helmet comes off. So, like you mentioned, not intentional, but it still happens. So you have to end up throwing the flag, and that's going to be motion against Golden West College, and it'll march him back 5.
77 offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
.135 left here in the 3rd quarter. 13-3 is our score. Golden West with the lead and inside the red zone. They've got a 1st and goal from the 11-yard line. .118 on the clock and still marching down to the end of the 3rd. Ball goes back to Ratzlaff. He's dropping back. He finds Ojalabi in and out of his hands. Incomplete. 2nd down and goal from the 11. Golden West 8-0, trying to get to 9-0 for the first time in quite some time for Golden West College. They are top 4 in the state. Technically number 3 as there are 2 teams tied for 2. But they've got to get a win here. They want that automatic bid into the Southern California playoff. 1:08 on the clock. It's Ratzlaff. He takes it himself. He's got a blocker to the pylon. Touchdown, Golden West College. Little handshake at the end with Branson, and that will give Golden West College a 19-3 lead. We've seen it from him before, especially at Southwestern, where he's able to tuck it himself, take off because he's got great legs. He's 3rd on the team in rushing yardage, and he does it there, reaches for the pylon, and gets into the end zone for 6.
And that's one thing that's always impressive about Ratzlaff, Ryan. He's not afraid to call his own number because he knows he has those great legs to get those yardage just like his fellow running backs.
So Cypress knocks it in for the extra point, and it's 20-3. Golden West College has taken a 17-point lead, and that is huge if you're a Rustler fan because that turns it into a 3-possession advantage. So before that, you were sitting at San Diego Mesa within reach with 2 possessions, but now it extends the lead. You can see from our vantage point, the Olympian sideline understandably displeased with how that last defensive series ended up going for them. But if you're the Olympians, you have a great chance here knowing that your offense has the ability to get up the field. What can they do as a reply is the question. Back it goes over to Dorsey. Dorsey takes it at the 5. He's going to dip over to the inside and get taken down at the 25. Making the tackle there for Golden West College is Marquise Brown Leonard.
Tack on the play, number 38, Marquise Brown Leonard.
.51 seconds left here in the third. 1st and 10. Olympians, you're watching Golden West College football here on SportsNetUSA.net. Owens, Dorsey, Jackson, near side. Nobody on the far side. Going back is Patterson. It was an intended screen pass, it looked like, for Patterson. Patterson goes out to block on the left-hand side and doesn't see that football go right over top of him. So 46.7 left as the clock stops.
Quarterback Gunnar Gray's pass incomplete. Defensive pressure by Jonah Laban. Second and 10 Olympians from the 26.
.7 on the clock. 2 wide to the left. They go into a crossing pattern over to the far side. Gray was trying to find Owens, and it lands incomplete. .4.
Completion makes it 3rd and 10 from the 26.
Gray at the 26-yard line, a 3rd down and 10 to go. Dorsey, Jackson, Owens, near side of the field. Makihele on the far side. In the backfield, he has Butler. They're going from right to left in the 3rd quarter. He drops it back. Souza's there. He's got the sack. That's number 8 for him on the season, and he leads the state of California in sacks. Clock is going to wind down. That might end up being the final play of the 3rd quarter, as it marches us to inside of 15 seconds left, and Iman Lavoie is back to receive the punt if the snap gets away. And San Diego Mesa says, just hold it. Don't end up bringing it back, and it will take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. 3 quarters gone. Golden West College 20, San Diego Mesa 3. You are watching Golden West Rustler football here on SportsNetUSA.net. An ovation rises from the crowd on the far side of the field, who are here traveling to see their Rustlers as they lead it by 3 scores. 20-3 is our score.
The remaining regular season.
Josue Alexander talking to the Olympian sideline.
They play out Southwestern.
Now talking to the
Next home game in 2 weeks.
offensive line and punt coverage of the Olympians. 1 quarter to play. Golden West College is going to receive the football as it's placed at the 31-yard line. And it will be kicked away coming up here in just a moment.
As we initiate the 4th quarter of action, Donovan Ward in punt formation.
Warren calling things out. He will end up getting this one just away, and you're going to have a running into the kicker penalty. It'll go against Ismael Souza. 2 flags come flying in, so that will add 5 as they get set to re-kick, and this time instead of at the 31-yard line where the ball will be placed, they'll move it up, or excuse me, not at the 26. They'll move it up to the 31-yard line. Out-of-town scoreboard sees Bakersfield leading East LA 24-20 as they enter the fourth quarter there. And Ventura has gotten on the board again, this time with a touchdown. And they lead it at the start of the fourth, 12-7.
Number 3, 5-yard penalty. Replay fourth down.
That's an important game for East LA over in Bakersfield, especially coming off that huge win versus Canyons.
That was one thing. It was here on SportsNetUSA.net. We were talking about it at the Golden West game against San Bernardino Valley. If Canyons could somehow lose to East LA, well, that would just absolutely throw a wrench into the top 10 standings, and that's exactly what happened. East LA got a win over top of Canyons, and now Canyons is trying to play spoiler. This ball gets kicked up into the air, tracking back to the 40 and making the fair catch at exactly the 40-yard line is Iman Lavoie. So with 14:47 left in this one, it's 20-3 Golden West College. You are watching Golden West College football here on SportsNetUSA.net. So, Albert, as we take a look at this fourth quarter of play, now you're looking at it for Golden West side. All they need is a touchdown here, and that is, in effect, the dagger. The question is, can they get it?
I think they can, but at the same time, I don't think it's entirely necessary. They have a 17-point lead. Yes, it's like a 2-3 possession game, and the way their defense has been playing, they almost don't need their offense to do any much this game.
You talk about that Rustler defense. It has consistently all season long been the catalyst for momentum. Handoff, Hurd, left-hand side. Stiff arms one, runs over top of another, and he will get brought down after a gain of 2. Olympian fans directly beneath us asking for a holding penalty. But they don't end up seeing a flag flying, and at the 42-yard line, Golden West has the 2nd and 8.
Gain of 2 yards to the 42, 2nd and 8.
Hurd bounces off, goes back to the line of scrimmage, kind of works his way, weaves in and out, gains about 5 yards, and it will be a 3rd down and 3 to go from the 42-yard line, or excuse me, the 47-yard line.
Dondre Dunkley in on the tackle. Ball now at the 47-yard line.
13-40. 3rd down and 3 to go. Again, Golden West College has the luxury of time behind their hands. Thrown down the middle. It goes to Wiseman. He stays on his feet. He's still going towards the end zone. 10-5. Touchdown, Golden West.
And as you said, Ryan, you asked me just a moment ago if Golden West can get another touchdown and put in the dagger. I think that was just it right there.
26-3. It was a quick slant just intended to get the 1st down, and Wiseman stays on his feet with the help of his right hand, and he goes streaking into the end zone. Touchdown, Golden West. They add a 6th spot on the board with 13:20 to go here in this one. So Cypress is getting set to step up to the extra point attempt. He gets it up into the air, and it is good. 27-3 is our score. And all of a sudden, Golden West College with 21 unanswered points. And with 13:20 left on the clock here in the fourth quarter, well, now all of a sudden the pressure is on the Olympians. You are watching Golden West College football here on SportsNetUSA.net. So if you're an Olympian fan watching this online, again, your team has been strong in this game. They're keeping the number 4 team in the state of California to inside of 28 points, something that has only been done once this season. But you've got to get your offense rolling like it was in the first half. Again, in the first half, they were getting yardage at will up until they got to the red zone. They had a little bit of trouble there. They couldn't get into the end zone 3 different times. Now here in the third quarter and into the fourth quarter, they've had trouble moving the football. As going back is Jackson. He gets brought down from behind at the 18-yard line, and that is where the offensive possession is going to start for San Diego Mesa. So again, if you're an Olympian fan, you're looking for your offense to get things going on this drive. You've got to get points to respond. And the other issue is, too, knowing that you've only got 13:12 on the clock, you want to use as little time as possible in the early going of this fourth quarter to give you a little bit extra padding of time on the clock towards the later half. The last time Golden West was here, San Diego Mesa had just moved up to the National Division. And San Diego Mesa was almost no match for, or excuse me, Golden West is almost no match for San Diego Mesa. This is picked off. It's Neal. He's running towards the end zone. He's at the 6. Golden West has taken it away, and the Rustler defense with a huge play. He steps in front of the route, and this Rustler defense is alive as they get the takeaway.
And for Mesa, that's just salt in the wound, knowing they're already down by 24 points. Just gotten worse and worse over this game, especially going back to the end of that half. You had the ball within 2 minutes on the goal, like 1 yard away from the goal line, and can't come up with points. Just pain all around.
So the Rustler offense inside the 10-yard line, 1st and goal. They've got Johnson, runs into the line of scrimmage, and it looks like he ends up gaining 2 on the play. So he was at the 7-yard line. He gets it up to the 5.
Johnson, the ball carrier. Zoquero on the stop. Gate of 2 on the play. 2nd and goal from the 5.
Five-yard line is where it's spotted. Behind Ratzlaff is Gianni Hurd. He will end up rolling over to his right. He's got Torrance Wiseman, make it Ojalabi. Touchdown, Golden West. John Ojalabi gets the Rustlers back on the board, and it's 33-3. This was a 6-3 game coming out of halftime, and it's 27 straight points for Golden West College. Extra point attempt is going to go up through the uprights and good. Golden West College 34, San Diego Mesa 3. You're watching Golden West College football here on SportsNetUSA.net. So Golden West College defense entered today as the top 3 defense in the entire state of California. You had San Francisco, who was number 1, San Mateo at 2, and Golden West College at 3. Golden West was giving up 11.8 points per game entering tonight. That was inflated because they gave up 21 points per game in their previous matchup against San Bernardino Valley last week. Now, as of right now, they've only got 3 on the board. That average would drop to about 9.5, which would keep them in the top 3 and close to number 2 overall. Yardage-wise, they're looking at being top 2 after this one if it continues to stay the way that it's going. They have given up exactly 100 points this season, as this is picked up by San Diego Mesa trying to push it out wide to the right and getting a wrap-up at the 38-yard line, as that went into the hands of Cameron Brown, and he's able to return it for about 28 yards before getting taken down. So the defense comes up large in that last set for San Diego Mesa, and now they have a chance to really put this one away. Iman Lavoie in coverage on the near side of the field. In the backfield is Patterson. San Diego Mesa from left to right offensively here in the 4th. Goes up to Dorsey. Dorsey taken down by Neal. Gain of 2 yards.
Gunnar Gray's pass complete to Timmy and Jackson.
That Ventura offense, which all night was having trouble over at Canyons, has started to come alive. 19-7 is the score, as they have a grand total of 16 unanswered points. Back here at San Diego Mesa, here's a toss down the middle. It gets tipped in and out of the hands of Jackson.
Pass intended for Timmy and Jackson, incomplete.
Here in conference play, Southwestern and San Bernardino Valley, it's Southwestern 23, San Bernardino Valley 20. This Golden West College team has looked good here in the second half, just like we saw last week. In the words of Corey Nalen, took a little bit to warm up. Chilly conditions down in San Diego Mesa, but once they did, they got it rolling. 11:39 here in the fourth. 3rd down and 7 to go. This is picked off again. And all of a sudden, Golden West College with a huge play and down the sideline, taking it all the way into the end zone, will end up being Marquise Brown-Leonard. It's a touchdown for GWC. He gets about a 60-yard return, and that is the first defensive touchdown of the season for Golden West College. So we just mentioned it. Golden West College looked a little cold in the first half, but my goodness, here in the second half, things have changed. As there's an injured Olympian who's being helped off the field. Ends up being Darius Gurdon. 6'3" freshman out of Diego Hills Charter. First defensive touchdown of the season for Golden West College is a pick six, about 60 yards for Marquise Brown-Leonard. And that will make it a 41-3 lead. 11:23 left here in the fourth quarter of play. You are watching Golden West College football here on SportsNetUSA.net. Albert?
Yes, Ryan?
It has taken a grand total of 11 plays. And what we've seen in that stretch of time, in 11 plays, 2 interceptions, 1 for a touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and a toss for a touchdown.
And all that within the course of 2.5 minutes? Less than?
All here in the fourth quarter. 35 unanswered points for Golden West College. We were talking about it at halftime going into the half, where this is a Golden West team, you said it yourself, in the second quarter, or excuse me, in the second half, they're going to get the football to start off the third quarter of play. It was a matter of whether or not they could get that initial punch. Could they get themselves on the board? And you said it, if they get on the board on their first offensive possession of the second half, look for them to roll afterwards. They've done exactly that. 35 unanswered. 41-3 is our score, as Cameron Brown takes it at the 5. He gets bottled up at the 18-yard line. They'll give him the 19, and San Diego Mesa's offense will take over from there.
Now, what I'm curious about now, with that pick six, where does Golden West defense potentially rank, considering that was their first pick six the entire season?
So, in terms of overall defensive scoring, they were about middle of the pack in the state of California, because the two defenses directly above them in San Mateo and City College of San Francisco each have 3 defensive touchdowns to their credit. But now you add one for for Golden West College, and all of a sudden, with the points added in, with the yardage that they've given up tonight, you're looking at top 2 defense in the state now. As Welch is going to take over at quarterback, they give it up to Butler. He gets a total of 11 on the play and a first down.
Hand off Josh Butler. Butler rambles to the 30-yard line. Gain of 11, 1st and 10 Olympians.
10:40 on the clock. Here's Butler switching hands, trying to get himself into the secondary. Gets about 6 yards. We'll say 5.5 on it. And it will be a 2nd down and 4 to go. And it's good to see Gardon be able to trot back out there, starting center for the Olympians. After being helped off a couple minutes ago, he is back out on the field. So Welch taking over at quarterback for San Diego Mesa. And he has to run for a little bit, spins out of a tackle, swings it back, tosses it upfield, and it's too far in front of Makihele. Quincy Welch, the freshman, entering today, had completed 9 of his 25 attempts, make it 9 of 26, for an overall completion rating of about 34%. 130 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions.
Third and 4 for the Olympians from the 36.
9:53 is where the clock is stopped. A 3rd down and 4 to go. He drops back. Welch down the middle, incomplete. That one landed about 15 yards in front of the line of scrimmage, and it will be a 4th down coming up.
Quincy Welch's pass intended for Devin Dorsey, incomplete.
So with 4th down coming up, it means that it will be a punt formation in line for San Diego Mesa. 9:47 on the clock. 41-3. Golden West College with the lead. Iman Lavoie is back to receive.
Iman Lavoie deep for Golden West.
High snap. Warren still able to get it away. Right-footed down to the 40. It bounces, takes a Golden West hop, and then goes up to the 43-yard line. So they bring it back to the 42, and 1st and 10, Golden West. If you're the Golden West Rustlers, don't be surprised if Golden West ends up finding themselves maybe bringing in Gabe Friend in a couple seconds instead of Jake Ratzlaff, and that's actually exactly what's going to happen. So Golden West will march out some of their 2nd-string offense as Gabe Friend will be on the field for them. Joining him in the backfield is Gavin Chappelle. Chappelle, left-hand side, gets the handoff. He moves over to his right. Gets behind a blocker, and he gains 4 on the play to bring him up to the 46-yard line. A 2nd down and about 6 to go. Golden West is going to see a holding call go against the Rustlers. And it will be a 1st down and 20.
Gabe Friend in a quarterback for Golden West. First down 20 from the 32.
8:57 and counting here in the 4th quarter, 41-3. Gabe Friend is going to hand it off. Chappelle right down the middle. Lots of contact. He gains 2, and it's a 2nd down and 18.
Inside handoff, Gavin Chappelle. Johnny Vega on the tackle. 2-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 18. The ball at the 34.
Olympian fans still making sure that their team hears their support. Chappelle sees Friend trying to duck out of a sack. He ends up getting taken down. Loss of about 7 yards. So that'll make it a 3rd down and we'll say a very, very long.
Play by Daniel Hawk. Hawk on the sack.
Olympian being checked on by the athletic training staff.
Ryan Sanford shaking him up
here
on the last play for Mesa.
At San Diego Mesa for Golden West College. They've got to get themselves up to the opposing 48-yard line, and they are currently at their own 28. A 3rd down and 24 yards coming up. Gabe Friend at quarterback. It's Chappelle in the backfield. Near side of the offense is Sonny Ham. Actually, excuse me, that'll be Jakari Embry. Torrance Wiseman far side. He's got Ojalabi as well. Ojalabi is going to be the one who's the intended receiver, and Friend is picked off. So the Olympians get the ball back, and they will take over at the 43-yard line.
Picked off by Andrew Trevelyan. Trevelyan on the interception.
Mesa defense giving their fans a little something to cheer about there in this droll game for them now.
Andrew Trevelyan is the one who gets the interception there, and San Diego Mesa will take over on offense.
1st and 10 Olympians. The ball at the
Quincy
Golden
Welch
West
will
42.
march it back out there. He ended up going 1 for 3. Actually, excuse me, 0 for 3 on his first drive. That was the last one. 7:34 is where the clock is. 41-3. Golden West with the lead. They go over to Patterson. Patterson off to the left-hand side. Actually, excuse me, that ends up being Butler. And he will get no gain. San Bernardino Valley leading it 27-23 with 10 minutes to go against Southwestern.
2nd and 10 from the 42.
Riverside has awakened in their game 37-24 with 7:37 left to go. Under 10 minutes to play out in Bakersfield, East LA trailing by 4, 24-20. And then Canyons and Ventura. That looks like Ventura is going to lock that one up as they are up by 2 scores. Dorsey, incomplete pass. Welch was right on the dot with the pass, but it ends up being incomplete, and a 3rd down and 10 coming up.
Pass intended for Jevin Dorsey, incomplete. 3rd and 10 from the 42.
Welch goes back, rolls over to his right, looking for someone. Deep throw down to the near sideline. It's Owens, and it's caught. Touchdown, Jackson. That's not who it was intended for, but Jackson cuts off the route and makes the touchdown grab.
An absolute phenomenal pass from Welch.
Welch set his front foot, tossed it over towards the near pylon, and it was going to land about the 2-yard line, and he was looking to go to Owens, but Jackson saw where that football was, saw the positioning of Owens, and just undercut the route. Broke off his own route, which was towards the post, and he just takes it over, makes the catch, and he's got the touchdown, 41-9. As Camacho is going to get set for the point after attempt. Gets it up into the air, and it is through. Great play by the Olympians, just about a 41-yard touchdown pass that allows for the Olympians to get back on the board. 41-10. It's a 31-point advantage for Golden West College. You are watching Golden West College football here on SportsNetUSA.net. A hazy night here in San Diego Mesa as the Olympians get on the board, their first touchdown of the game. And like you mentioned, a beautiful throw there from Welch, and he was able to get that into the end zone with Jackson. So you look at a 41-10 score. If that score stays the same, that sets up a huge game next week. Battle of the Booths here on SportsNetUSA.net, essentially for the conference championship rights. Now, the reason why we say that is because Golden West would end up seeing Fullerton for the tiebreaker, but Fullerton would have a game to play. So let's say Fullerton wins, but 2 weeks later they lose to San Diego Mesa. Well, they'd still have the tiebreaker. They'd be fine. But if Golden West wins, they've got the tiebreaker, and it wouldn't matter essentially what happens between Fullerton and San Diego Mesa on the 20th, because they've got the tiebreaker. A huge matchup next week. Again, that is if Golden West is able to hang on here. This is caught by Iman. He will go to the near side. Carrillo gets past one, trying to move into some blockers at the 45, and he is brought down at the 47-yard line. Beautiful return there by Carrillo, and he's able to get up to the 47-yard line, and great field positioning for Friend.
First and 10 for the Rustlers, the ball at their 47-yard line.
.6:19 here in the fourth quarter. 41-10. This will be a handoff to the right-hand side. Chappelle trying to carry it forward, and he gets about 4 yards.
Handoff went to number 36, Jed Davis.
Excuse me, that is Jed Davis who checks in for Golden West College. Sam Simrel is now in at QB.
Davis carries it just over the midfield
and
stripe.
he's got a 4-yard gain to start, so a 2nd down and 6 coming up. Jet Davis,
2nd and 6.
6 rushes for 7 yards entering tonight, so you can make it 7 for 11. Simrel in at QB, takes over for Gabe Friend, who threw an interception on his last drive. It goes over to Jet Davis. He gets past 1, past 2, but he ends up getting brought down after 2.
Jed Davis, the ball carrier. Elliott Blanks on the tackle.
41-10 is our score. .5:19 as there's an injured Olympian on the field. And we want to thank everyone who has joined us here on SportsNetUSA.net for tonight's game between Golden West College and San Diego Mesa. As able to get up and walk on his own power is Jacob Wiggins, the sophomore.
Jacob Wiggins shaken up on the last play.
Walks off to an ovation from the crowd here at San Diego Mesa. This was homecoming for San Diego Mesa, and they had a nice little ceremony at halftime for the alumni, and also tried to get the fans involved, had some dancing competitions as well, and a nice opportunity to honor the players and also the former Mesa Olympians. This will be Jet Davis trying to carry it up the middle. He gets 2, and it will be a 4th down and 2 to go. 45-yard line is where the ball will be spotted, and we'll see whether or not they bring out Guzman to punt it away and try and pin them inside the 15.
Inside handoff again to Jet Davis.
Gianni Hurd is going to run on in, and he will end up taking over for Jet Davis. Ojalabi is in the slot on the near side of the field as a 4th down and 2 yards to go is coming up. Out wide to the left is Jair McGee. Jair watches as Gianni Hurd gets 1, gets 2, 1st down.
Gianni Hurd, the ball carrier. Connor Battaglia in on the tackle.
And with 4 minutes, 20 seconds running on the clock, Ryan, you expect to see more of these plays from Golden West. Continue the run, kill the clock, get the 1st downs.
.406 left here in the 4th as Simrel is in at quarterback. Behind him, he's got Davis. Davis is going to take it, tries to get to the edge, off to the right, gets past 2, and makes it about a 7-yard gain.
Handoff went to Jet Davis on a sweep right.
Clock keeps ticking away. It ends up being a total gain of 4. Under 4 minutes to play here in this one. 41-10 is our score. So again, this sets up a matchup for the tiebreaker in the conference. And why, you ask? Well, that's because Golden West College would finish, even if they end up losing their matchup against Fullerton, with the tiebreaker against most of these teams, as this will end up being a flag at the end of the play. Davis with some contact.
Davis. Javon Cooks on the tackle. Flag on the play.
3:16 left on the clock with a 41-10, 31-point lead for Golden West. Around the state of California, it's a final. Ventura with another come-from-behind victory. In the second half, they get 10 points on the board. Canyon's not able to score. And it ends up being a holding penalty back here at San Diego Mesa. Remember, last week, for those of you listening to or watching the game on sportsnetusa.net, we told you that Allen Hancock was up by 13 with just about 4 minutes to play over top of Ventura, and Ventura had 2 straight touchdown drives inside of 2 minutes to play, and they won that game by 1 point. Well, they will end up winning tonight 19-7 over Canyons, and that effectively will drop Canyons out of the top 13. Cerritos and Riverside. Cerritos trying to come back in that one. They led at halftime, but now trail it 31-7, down by 6, as this will be a 5-yard gain coming out of the penalty. Pushing and shoving out of the pile at the end of the play.
Gavin Chappelle,
and the clock continues to wind down as Chappelle is the one who brought it forward. Southwestern San Bernardino Valley 29-27. San Bernardino Valley trailing by 2 with 7 minutes left in that one. Orange Coast, LA Harbor, it's Orange Coast 30, LA Harbor 23. In an American Division matchup there, Santa Ana wins there, or is winning their game 56-21. Just about 11 to go. San Francisco 41-16 over Diablo Valley, as this is going to be Chappelle. He's in the clear. He's trying to get to the 5. Touchdown, Golden West College. Chappelle breaks it away, and he has his first touchdown of the season. And that will be a long for Chappelle, to say the least, of over 30 yards. And he adds to his totals. He's now looking at over 80 yards rushing this season. In limited action, and he gets his first touchdown of the year, 47-10, on an excellent run there by Chappelle with 1:49 on the clock. Kick is up, kick is through. And it goes to 48-10, back to a 38-point advantage.
A reminder of next week's schedule. Golden West will meet Fullerton at noon, Saturday, November 13th. Mesa will travel.
So 1:49 left. 38-point lead for Golden West College after the touchdown run by Chappelle. We were updating you on the out-of-town scoreboard here on sportsnetusa.net. Up north, Laney beats San Joaquin Delta 42-7 in a final there. Butte gets back to 500, 42-7, a mirrored score. El Camino all over Chaffey, and Chaffey went down to the American Division, felt that they had an opportunity to come back after 2 years in the American. They ended up only losing 1 game across 2 seasons in the American Division. Come up to the National Division, they are 0-9, as they lose to El Camino 55-3. Little pooch kick near side. 12-yard return coming up to the 39-yard line, where San Diego Mesa will take over. Finishing off the out-of-town scoreboard, LA Valley loses their matchup with Santa Monica 31-28 at 3-point difference. Reedley 5-3, 42-35. They end up getting a win there. Fresno City moves up to 8-1 with a 63-21 win over West Hills Coalinga.
First and 10 Olympians.
And then Saddleback and Fullerton 31-30. The Hornets with a 1-point win. Welch is going to hand this one off. Nice gain on first down. A total gain of just about 5 yards is what they will give him. As that ends up being a handoff to Junior Akintunde.
Ball at the Olympian 45-yard line. 2nd and 4.
Up the middle, Akintunde is going to go to the 6 and make it the 50-yard line.
Junior picks up a 1st and 10 at the midfield stripe.
Clock still winding down here, under 45 seconds left in this one. Chanting on the far side for the Golden West Rustler defense. Everyone getting their reps in today as Kylan Neal is in on the tackle, makes the tackle, and everyone on the sideline is thrilled about that. Everyone cheering for Golden West College as Andrew Garcia ends up making the tackle there. They were chanting Drew. And that will end up bringing us to the end of the game. In an interesting aspect after this one, no handshake between both of the teams, as the coaching staffs will end up meeting together and having the opportunity to give the old handshake, and also on the far side, Owens giving a congratulations as well, but they take their splits. And Golden West College ends up winning this one by a final of 48-10. A quick rundown of this one. The first half, first quarter, all Golden West, but they couldn't get into the end zone and got 2 field goals. In the second quarter, it was all the Olympians, but they couldn't get into the end zone, and they got a field goal. That first half, well, let's put it lightly. It was very different than the second half of play. And Albert, when you look at this second half, you look specifically at the third quarter, 28 straight points for Golden West.
Yeah, it was all Golden West straight up coming out of that half. We said it going into the half that we knew that that last play in the second quarter for San Diego Mesa was going to be critical. One of the biggest plays in the game that changed the entire aspect of how we looked at this game. They were unable on 4th and goal at the 1-yard line to get points on the board. Their best opportunity all game until they got their touchdown later in the fourth quarter. And coming out of the half, Golden West comes in and smacks San Diego Mesa right in the mouth by getting that opening touchdown drive.
And after that opening touchdown drive, it felt like they just couldn't be stopped, especially offensively. They would be in the end zone 3 more times in the third quarter. They got a defensive touchdown as well. First time that they've had that all season long. And you know what? It sets up an all-important game next Saturday against Fullerton College. That'll be a Battle of the Booths game here on SportsNetUSA.net. In essence, it's for the division championship and gets you into the state playoff. So when you look at the ramifications now going into that game, if you're looking at it from Golden West's perspective, knowing that you rolled here in the second half, how do you keep that momentum rolling into Fullerton?
It's hard to say, honestly. I mean, Fullerton College, as we all know, is a very good team. Golden West, also a very good team. But knowing how Golden West came in and handled San Diego Mesa definitely would give them a good mental edge coming into this game. Because Fullerton College, yes, they did come away with a win today, but it was a 1-point win, a come from behind win. That is a good, morale boost, but it wasn't quite the dominance displayed by Golden West here today. So it's definitely, they're going to have both morales good coming in today, but one of those two teams is going to have a higher morale coming in, and I think that's going to be Golden West.
So Golden West faces Fullerton in the all-important matchup next week. The Battle of the Booths has a lot on the line. That'll be next weekend here on SportsNetUSA.net. You can hear Corey Nalen, Mark Pavlovich. I'll be out there as well to help out here on SportsNetUSA.net. Ed Ford as well, as we get set for that all-important Battle of the Booths game. Happens every year, but this year, Conference Division Championship essentially on the line. So our final here tonight from San Diego Mesa, 48-10, a 38-point win for Golden West as they roll in the second half of play. They now move up to 9-0 this season. On the other side for the Olympians, they will drop to 5-3. So again, next week, Golden West, Fullerton, Battle of the Booths, right here on SportsNetUSA.net. All-important tiebreaker up for grabs. Again, here on SportsNetUSA.net. Now, before we go, we want to thank Miller Toyota of Anaheim, who supports all games here on SportsNetUSA.net. That new or used vehicle that you can take to go watch the Battle of the Booths, you can get it at Miller Toyota of Anaheim at the corner of the 91 and Euclid. Miller Toyota of Anaheim supports high school sports, community college sports, but most of all, they support education. Again, that is Miller Toyota of Anaheim. A final 48-10, 38-point win for Golden West College. For Albert Robles, I'm Ryan Osborn, thanking you for joining us. You've been watching Golden West College football here on SportsNetUSA.net.